Morning, everybody. Here we are. It's just gone 7 o'clock. Welcome to the World Sports Betting Saturday show. We've got the usual suspects on board. Trust we found you well this weekend. There's plenty of football that we can talk about. There's a lot of rugby as well. There's some racing coming up. And we'll even try and sneak in some cricket and some golf. And like I said, the usual suspects are in the house this morning. We've got Liam sitting in the gallery, waiting patiently. Dom's here, Gary's here, Terry's here, and Rod's here. I know that Rod's got quite a bit to talk about, so I'm actually going to throw the ball straight to you. Yeah. First of all, how are you this morning? I'm very well. You obviously don't own a brush at home? You don't? No. Or a comb? I never have. Yeah. Have they still got water restrictions at your area? Every now and then. You don't jump into the shower and sort of like just give it a bit of a scrub every now and then? Every now and then they do. Right. Like this morning. Can you tell? Right, yeah, no problem with that. Yeah, it's been a busy week, eh? How was that rugby last week? I've got to start off with that. How bad were we at tipping? 17.5 points, no problem, they beat the spread. Right. Yeah. You know what's happened, Terry? What? They've put up 200,000 Rand now. Can you believe it? For what? No, the South African Cricket Association have rugby have put it up, and they've made 3 arrests. They're trying to find the guys who stole that gears again. So there's been 3 arrests made. They're hopefully going to find it, and they'll be back for in Bloemfontein. Very poor, eh? 57-0. Can you believe that? What did you guys say last week, Terry? I mean, I know that
the boys they're very bullish about the 17.5 spread. No. Oh,
you
South
just
Africa.
put your finger everywhere.
Yeah, South Africa. Oh dear, they'll beat that. Blah blah blah. Cape Verde have come through, the soccer team. They want to now play the Springboks. Well, so I'm sure everybody would at the moment.
I reckon the 5 of us could give the Springboks a go. How bad was that? How do you work that? I know Liam's going to come on and try and give us a story.
Yeah, he's hiding.
He is, yeah.
He's in the gallery.
I spoke to him very quickly this morning and I said, I bet you were upset last Saturday. He didn't know if I was talking about Liverpool or the rugby team.
Have you banned yourself from talking about rugby again?
I've said they were rubbish the whole time.
Yes.
Be honest.
But you still went for the 17.5.
Actually, I didn't, but anyway. The truth is, I've always said that the word I use is rubbish, right? That they still got to prove themselves. Just because they beat a second-rate French side and a bunch of rubbish Argentinians doesn't make them a rugby side, right? And drew with a bunch of clowns from Brisbane and Perth, wherever they come from. First rugby team they play, boom, destroyed, annihilated, poor. Poor. I still always said that they need Whiteley back. They need him back. There's a big gap there, in my opinion. But that was a really, really poor performance.
Doesn't matter who you put in that side.
No, it was look, they're not 57 points behind the All Blacks.
But let's be honest, there were a lot of positives that you can take out of that.
How's that comment after the game? I've taken a lot of positives. What's one of them? Our defence was pretty good. You only let through about 25 tries.
It was only 57, guys.
57-0. But I mean, how do you work that out, Gary?
I can't. I mean, I remember when we were at school, our first side once got beaten by 40 points, right? And you cannot believe the drama that went on after that.
Corporal punishment?
Yeah, the whole lot. And no, there's drama. This is a national side that are claiming that they're going to win the World Cup and this and that. I saw an article, I was on the plane the other day by a journalist, South African journalist, that said, don't worry.
Is he in the building?
No, it wasn't Liam. I'm trying to look in the gallery. It's full the gallery today for Liam and the other journalists. I don't think he's there. But this guy said, don't worry, because before they won the World Cup in 2007, they had a few bad results as well. I mean, if that's what we've got to hold on to as positives, we're in big trouble, you know what I'm saying?
Dom, what did you think? I know that you're a massive rugby fan ever since you started coming on the show. You learned that rugby is a 15-man sport and they play with an oval ball.
You know what, I just work it out like this. You know, when a trainer trains horses, he's got a string of horses in his yard. They say he's only as good as his horses. So the coach is only as good as his players. So I think there must be crap.
What's happening? Hang on, what's happening? What's happening? I think you touched on it last week. A soccer team can't win, a cricket team can't win, and the rugby team can't win. The netball's going okay, isn't it?
They do. They're about they're 4th out of 3, I think.
So the women's cricket team's going okay. But I think Tom hit the nail on the head here with the training. If you've got a bunch of horses that are poor, right, as a rule, what's the first thing you do?
As a rule.
You get new horses.
No, you can't. You haven't got the money. What do? You geld them.
You haven't got...
You geld them. Maybe that's the answer. We geld the Springbok squad and they concentrate.
Well, now I know where Urban Etzebeth comments come from, because I also read on Sport 24, get off the backs of our loved ones. You want to gull them. I mean, what's the fun in that?
I mean, they almost got the kishkas cut out last Saturday, right? But I mean...
But as a coach, is the coach any good?
I don't know who you can blame.
His initials are good. Huh? His initials are good.
Same as yours.
Yes.
Right?
By the way, our netball team is 5th out of 35 in the world.
They are. I thought so. That's all right. 5th out of 35.
Can you name one of our players?
Oh, can't.
Name the top 4. I can name the top 4.
Can you?
Let's try guess. Australia?
Yep.
England?
Yep.
New Zealand.
New Zealand,
Yeah.
quite right.
And the 4th one. Who's the 4th one?
You don't know anything.
I do know the 4th one. I follow netball all the time.
Oh, because your wife played netball.
She
Cape
did.
Verde.
Yeah, Donna play. Actually, even my sister wasn't a bad netball player. She's probably watching this morning.
Could you play netball?
Hey? No, I was a little bit
You
heavy.
can imagine him in a skirt.
Well, I've had a couple of tries at that as well. It didn't go that well. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into racing. The 2 Australian races that we're obviously going to show you as the show commences. And the guys at World Sports Betting, the odds makers, are sitting waiting for this, Dom, because they obviously don't know what you've got in store for us. Yesterday, you never said a word to me. Why are you keeping your cards close to
I'm
your
very
chest?
positive today, and I've got value today.
Where's the racing today, Dom?
First of all, Terry, can you explain the complaint that
I
you
will.
got with
I've had
Alistair?
complaints, serious complaints. Scott from Mullerfontaine. I was
Is there an echo?
Your man.
Scott.
Your man. I sent you to buy the car and you did the dirty on him.
I didn't do the dirty.
Yes, you did.
That's unfair.
Yeah, you did. Anyhow, he complains that we don't repeat Dom's selections. We just say, let's go to the racing now. Yeah. And we don't say what it is because they're all there.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you the
bet.
task of remembering the 2 horses that he tips.
No, you remember. That's your job. And you've got to, when we go, say, don't forget Dom's 2 tips are this.
Why did they put it up on the screen?
Exactly right.
There
This
you
is
go.
what the geezer
You can't
said to
rely on
me.
him, right? He can't even remember how to tie shoelaces.
Scott says, why don't we just put a little thing up to say...
In the middle?
Racing so-and-so, number so-and-so. It's so simple.
Yeah.
So
there you are, mate.
So yeah, I was sitting with Rod the other day in his office, just having a quick chat.
In the smoking room or in the office?
No, we were doing business.
We're doing business.
What? You do business? Well done, Rodders.
We were working hard.
Rod's my
We're
runner.
checking what time, people get in and get out the building, weren't
Yeah,
you?
we've got a board outside my office. You get in late, boy. It's up there now.
Oh, have you got to press a button or something? Put your name down? What are you going to do?
Well, when you come in to fingerprint you, so yeah. And now we write it on a whiteboard outside my office if you're late.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you type the 2, if you type the
I'm dyslexic.
biometrics
I always
with
get the come in late and checking out at 4 o'clock. I think it's the start time. So but we've got a few problems there we're running out. Sorry.
So Rod's always here at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Very early in the morning. So we discussed this, and today I've got quite a nice value bet for the guys out there. And we were saying, that, never mind it's 10 or 12 to 1, which I think it is.
Yes.
It's painted on those sheets here that I've just printed out. It's $13 or 13 Australian dollars. Okay, this is the 6th race. It's not in this race. But just going back to the 7th race, the horse that we tip in,
Well, get there now.
Assimilate.
Oh, well,
okay, well,
yes.
we'll go with this race first. Astoria, Joshua Parr. What price are we getting here, Alistair?
2 to 1.
19 to 10. 3 to 10 a place.
What is it with my panel's R's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I can
I've
see
got my
that.
glasses here. I'll put them on. Hang on. Okay,
Please
there
don't
you
put
go.
them on. Oh.
It's 19 to 10. It's 3 to 10 a place. Okay. But I think this will win. I don't think there will be a second in this race. I'm very confident with this one.
Who's the jockey?
Got the draw.
Just
Joshua
said Parr.
Parr. Joshua Parr, Astoria, yeah. So yeah, we're going to go heads first with this one. We're going to back it outright,
Yes.
and then we're going to race 7. Then in the next race, this was called Assimilate. We backed it last time, got touched off last time by a short head.
There's another one of your favourites, Pariah.
Yeah, there's a few in this race that we tipped. Formality.
This has got to be a strong race. Tom.
Formality, we tipped at 1. Pariah, we tipped at 1, and,
Yes.
and now Assimilate, we tipped it ran second, 2 runs back. But the way it ran last time and just got touched off, it came from way back in the race.
Is this a feature, Dom? Is this a feature
This is
race?
$1 million race.
Wow.
$1 million
How much is
race.
$1 million in our currency?
100 million?
$1 million,
Or
yeah.
10 million, right?
I'm not good with notes. Yeah.
10 to 1.
So it's 10 to 1. So we're just discussing Rod and I. The guys have a big place bet on it, and if it runs out the money, they get the money back. So they can't lose.
So Assimilate and
See, he's forgot already.
Astoria.
Yeah.
Both with an A, you won't forget that.
Assimilate
But
Astoria.
do you get
so
your money back on the
what
place
is a
bets,
double
or is it
with
only
it?
the win bets? Just make sure we don't stick the public out here.
So what I want the
Dom
guys
makes up his own
I
rules
want,
there.
yeah, what I want the guys to do is take a head-on straight double, win,
Yep.
and win place.
Okay.
So if they're going to spend $1,000,
Yep.
let them take 500 win and 500 win place. So what does a win work out? 10 to 1 and say 2 to 1.
30 to 1.
30 to 1
For the win,
double. The double.
Yeah, the win,
The
win, and the
double.
win place.
10 to 1 is the
And
place.
3 to 10.
What are you going to get a place in?
I think they had 2 to 1 up
11
to
to
1.
1. 11 to
and
10.
2 to 1, so you're going to still get 8 to 1.
8 to 1. 8 to 1 win place. It's a no-brainer.
Okay. Talking
Well,
about
that suits
no-brainers.
us.
Dom, just put your glasses back on.
Yeah.
Oh no, does he have to?
I haven't shined them up today.
Now that's the problem with the Springboks. That's all they need to do.
Put glasses on, eh? Okay. And Terry, before we go off the subject, we are going off the subject. Man City, what do you think of them?
Different class, aren't they?
They are different class.
Yeah,
Can you name one of the players?
Of course, Aguero, top class. The
well
best in the
done,
world.
lady.
Walker, the back line, he's made a huge difference.
See,
carry on.
Gabriel Jesus, he set the turf a lot.
Is that Jesus or Jesus?
Wow, it is Jesus, but they call him Jesus, yeah.
Yeah. So,
no, they look at the moment, don't they?
You know what the problem is? Alistair comes here, and everyone thinks he knows what he's doing.
I know,
he just talks. And now, let me just put this in perspective. You know the presenters today? I was chatting to the guys in the
Is that what you call them?
Presenters.
Oh, presenters, yeah.
The only reason why they're presenters is because they can talk a whole lot of crap.
Rubbish.
Yeah. So and they just carry on and carry on and carry on.
Well,
so Alistair makes like he knows every little thing, but he sits there from the morning till the night studying every little detail. He studies every little, and then he comes and hammers his oats. So I had to let the cat out the bag. Sorry.
Thanks,
well
Tom.
done.
Yeah,
I'm a professional.
Professional.
But I saw Lyle won some competition.
Yes,
called
two pick sixes in the week. Tipped a good each way bet
Tommy?
in Who?
Tommy Cooper.
Lyle's at the top of the presenters.
I know, I saw that.
I tipped him last week, remember?
Yeah.
That's the first
you
thing
guys
I
were having a
tipped.
go at him the
You
other
did
week.
say Lyle, yeah.
Yeah.
Lyle's at the top at the moment.
Did he let you know, Lyle, that he tipped it?
No, I saw it on TV the other day.
I was going to say, I don't think he knows.
Who's that winner he tipped yesterday? Nice
Captain
each way
Marmalade.
bet. Yeah, Captain Marmalade.
5-1.
Yeah.
So we got a thing now, so it's who's hot and who's not. So Lyle's hot, who do you think's not?
Julie.
Ah, okay.
I know, I didn't.
You always have a
I
go.
was talking
Last
about
week
it.
as well, people were saying, what's that with Rollins? Pardon?
I wasn't having.
Don't joke.
Why have you gone red? The moment we talk about Julie gone red, you stutter, you cough over your words.
Yeah, look at him.
He's very close to Julie.
I mean, Tom, it's not the first. I mean, Terry, let's be honest. For years, they've been saying, what's going on with Rod and Julie?
This is the biggest put away
said
mainstream.
He just said
Everybody.
It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. That's how rumours start in this game.
I know.
It does.
What a
in this
talk,
place.
Slip of the tongue.
Slip of the what? Yeah, quite right. Yeah, that's how it starts.
Anyway, where's the racing?
Before we actually get into...
Change the subject, I think.
Yes, before we get into Rosehill...
Oh, here we go.
Yes. There's Gary and Dom. Cardboard cutouts of Gary and Dom. Anyway,
Yeah,
the
good.
Rugby and Racing Mixer. Bet Gary and Dom's Rugby and Racing Mixer today and get an additional 20% of your winnings as free bets if your bet wins. So, Dom... What? By the way, Gary, I'm a big fan of that. The Bulls on the handicap of 11.5.
And Yamato, I'm also a big fan. It's a great restaurant up in Ilovo, you know. Japanese, outstanding, you know.
Motor.
This Yamato is very good. It's one of the. This horse is a horse to look out for in the next couple of months.
Well,
Really?
It's top
Who
class.
trains that, please?
Sean Terry.
Have you got a book there?
Yeah,
well, he's
Sean
got,
Terry.
obviously today for Yamato, he looks like the type of horse that'll go Graham Beck ding-dongs, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah. He's one of those classy horses. Dalpesh is riding him today.
Looks the goods.
Dynasty again, you know, Dynasty at the Equus Awards won so many awards with
Depeche riding
Silvana.
for Sean Terry.
Sean Terry? Sorry?
Did you say Delpeche was riding?
Dalpesh is
unusual,
riding it
isn't
with
it?
Sean Terry.
Mary Slack's got shares in it, so obviously he's retained
Oh,
it.
she,
yeah.
because he's
retained,
retained jockey.
But this is a horse to look out for the future. I think he's going to win all the group races coming
Really?
up. He's
Really?
top class, top
That's
class.
a
Out of the
big
top
comments.
draw.
Might be very, very good. Very good indeed. All right, we need to get over to Rosehill and shout home.
What's those horses
Astoria
again? Scott.
Astoria and Assimilate. Astoria's up now. Let's go and join them.
7. Here we go for the gloaming.
Only filly in the field is set. All Day in Colesberg at the last two. John Thompson with 3 in the race. And All Day being one of those. And Colesberg on the outside is now the last to go forward. So we're all set here for the gloaming over 1,800 metres. Stand by for a break. The Godolphin pair of the favourites. Now there's an incident. Coral Coast, the filly's gone off in the gates. I'm not sure where Brenton Abdullah is in all of this. He's now climbing up on the side of the petition, so he's got himself out of harm's way. Augustus, Thy Kingdom ran third just in front of Sunny.
So, welcome back.
Well done, Dom.
Well, you get your money back, though. Yeah. Well done, World Sports Betting.
Get your money back from Dom. I'm not sure it was part of the rule. If World Sports Betting said, no, just phone Dom 0827498222.
Lots of twos there.
That's not really his number.
Morning, Liam. Would you like to add to what Rod was saying before the show? Did you hear what Rod said before the show?
What did he say?
Oh, Rod, would you like to repeat yourself?
I can't have enough time. We're talking about.
I thought you were done with that now. I thought you.
What, the rugby?
Yeah. So you're still on about it.
What do you think? No. What did you think? Honestly.
I think it was pathetic. I thought that.
What do you really think?
I think the All Blacks also played their best game they've played for a while. I think they were certainly up to put up a good performance against the South Africans. If you look at their previous results this season, I think the drawn series against the Lions would have stung them. They were, I don't want to use the word unconvincing against the Wallabies, but you know they didn't quite hit
they almost
sixth gear.
Yeah.
And against the Springboks, because there clearly was criticism, they wanted to put in a solid performance. That they were able to do, aided by South African side that was way off their game. If you compare the Bok team that played the week before, there were a couple of guys who were missing the following week against the All Blacks, and that clearly impacted performance as well. And what I would have wanted to see post the game in Albany last week was a reaction from the coach. And he hasn't really reacted
he took positives
in his selections. I think the positives was that they would make their flight out of out of Auckland
going home
to Sydney and then to Joburg. And yeah, I don't think he's addressed all the holes in that side.
Was there anybody at the airport to
they
greet
must have been waving flags.
I can tell you this much, there were a few journos, and the first guy out, and he was out into the arrivals all about half an hour before the rest, was Raymond Rule, and he looked around, he saw the journos, and he sidestepped down.
The first person he beat the whole week.
Yeah, exactly.
And he went straight out the revolving door.
Yeah.
Because he's been nicknamed Revolving Door, and I think it's unfair. Did you see that?
Get off his back.
No. But Nisbet, you know, what's your name? Nisbet?
Grant Nisbet.
Yeah, no, they were on his case properly, and rightly so. I mean, he missed 9 tackles. I mean, you don't get to be selected again if you miss 9 tackles. I'm sorry, not at test level.
I'm glad to see Sabu and Corsi there because to be honest, I actually didn't think they would pick him.
It's not as if Alistair doesn't have, and I'm not talking about you, the coach doesn't have other options.
Yeah. Why not Combrink?
Why not Combrink?
Why not? Clearly, there's something there.
There must be something, but I mean,
what counted against Combrink was he got injured on the end of year tour last year and he missed the bulk of Super Rugby, so there was no body of work that they could select him on. However, if you looked at his performances last season and know what the player is capable of, played 1 or 2 games for the Lions where he wasn't bad. In fact, he won the 1 game against the Sharks, famously.
Over the top
and also the long-range penalty.
Sports betting
so you could have made the argument that he could have gone with Combrink if he really wanted to.
Gary, there's the betting for next week's game. 4-10 South Africa. South Africa.
Yeah, they've lost their teeth. Yeah. But the thing is that I think if you look at it, they drew with the Wallabies in Australia. The Wallabies got to come here to a very hard Bloemfontein ground, you know what I'm saying? A ground where South Africa have done well, and you would think that it would suit them, So
you must almost put the All Black result out of your mind. Look at this game in isolation.
Correct. They're not playing the All Blacks next Saturday. Yeah. So the betting is just on Australia, right? Who they've proven, and we've always said there's not a lot to choose between the two teams. We've said that from day one. And they're playing here in South Africa. You've got to believe South Africa should be favourite. It still doesn't take away from the fact that last week they were outplayed by the All Blacks. You know what I mean? This is their level. Australia, Argentina, they're not as good as England, they're not as good as New Zealand.
And you'd expect them to come up with some kind of reaction.
I agree with that 100%, and they haven't. They brought in a substitute scrum half who's not even going to be in the match day 23. So they go and they put a lot of this blame on Hougaard, rightly or wrongly. I'm not even saying that, you know what I mean? And they bring in a guy who's not even going to be in the starting squad. How's that going to make any difference, These guys that they brought in, they're not.
Only way I can see South Africa beating Australia is that they take the ground, lift it up another 1,000 feet to get it as high as up altitude here. It's the only way.
How high is Bloemfontein? I always thought it was almost...
It is quite high.
Yeah.
Is it?
Your lungs will burn, Rod.
Did you know that?
Yeah. No, I knew it's altitude. I played there.
It's on top of a mountain.
Well,
what?
It's about 1 something, I think.
Got a beautiful view of the ocean there. It's the sea level.
That's why
I just play the game on Naval Hill.
Do you ever order fish when you go to Bloemfontein?
What about Bloem?
Do you order fish?
Order fish? No, I haven't.
Have you been to Bloem?
Yeah, I went to Bloem.
He orders from that the waterfront there. The fish they.
I went to Bloemfontein. We pulled a coup. We took one of my horses down there, and the trainer was James Goodman. We had the biggest coup ever. We had banketing, pick sixes, PAs, everything going into the last leg. We had backed it from 16-1 to almost odds on. And we get in the parade ring and they walk around once, and the next thing my horse disappears. What's wrong? Goodman forgot the passport in Joburg. They wouldn't let the horse run. We got the tote favourite in all. Our tote ran 8. Boom. Did our lives. You know what I'm saying?
You know about Clyde Basil's coup that he landed there about 15 years ago? Always talks about it. Crispy Crackling was the horse's name. Ran last in a Bloemfontein Monday meeting. Bought it for about 1,000 rand. Sent it to Jannie Borman. Ran 2 weeks later 66-1 down to 18-10. It arrived. Clyde called the race. Bloemfontein will never be the same again. Stayed there for about 3 weeks. Crispy Crackling was never seen again.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Anyway, we might as well finish talking about rugby. We've got a lot of time to talk about soccer. Of course, there's plenty of that this weekend. So let's get into the Currie Cup. Of course, there was one game played yesterday. It was a good night for the Cheetahs. They won their Currie Cup game and they beat Leinster, Liam.
When last did that happen?
What, beating Leinster?
No, the Cheetahs winning twice.
Oh.
On the same day, just about.
Okay, never.
You're right. You're right. Leinster, the win over Leinster is a fantastic win. Not just getting the win, but winning fairly comfortably in the end. So I think that will set them up quite nicely for the remainder of their campaign.
Alistair made a comment as I walked in the studio this morning.
Certainly.
Yeah, he said to me, that rugby's more entertaining than Super 18. And it's probably a higher standard.
I see they've changed the whole thing. Just sorry to change the subject. They've changed the whole format of Super Rugby next season. Did you see that?
It's still as
Well, they
convoluted
made that
and
announcement a
confusing.
while back.
Yeah, quite a while
They
back.
announced the draw this week. In which they...
You're living in Cape Town, Gary, now. It takes a bit of time to
No, but I still want to go back to
behind.
this, right? I still want to go back to when I read everything. They're still not having every team play every team. I still haven't. If somebody, whether it's Marinos or anybody,
Yeah, but
can
they,
just
if
explain
with
to
15
me.
teams, you can't fit everything in.
Okay. I know you're right. How many matches are they playing? 17.
Yes.
Right? If everybody played everybody every
They're
time,
14.
it would be 14. So don't say they can't fit it
No,
in.
but they insist that there should be a top 8. In other words, you get to the playoffs, a finals. What do they call it? A final series. So basically, your top 8 will play off against each other.
Can I just say that
If they took that out of the equation, then it.
If
then
somebody
it's
could
possible.
just, whoever it is from Sansa, could send me an email explaining why this format is better than everybody playing everybody once, right?
Yeah.
And then having
And then have a
quarterfinals
semi-final?
and semi-finals and finals.
I would do away with the quarterfinals.
Or do away with quarterfinals or do it like they do at RPL. If somebody can explain that to me, I'd be only too
And
happy.
also, not
Why
have
not
it...
use your system? Everybody play everybody 30 times.
He wanted 2018. Didn't he?
Correct. Can't miss. 2 divisions. Anyway, the points... I can't remember what I was going to say now.
You should actually check out Andrew Merton's views on this, on the, I think they call it the Kick and Chase show on Fox Sports.
Super Rugby's broken.
And I think he must have had a few beers before he walked into the studio. He had a fair old go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well,
He said there should be 2 divisions of 12 teams each. Each
Nah,
team...
he made the point that he will encourage any system where you play against the other sides in your time zone. In other words, ditch South Africa, play with other... In fact, they mentioned Japan. The guy who was asking the question basically set him up. Because he mentioned Japan, he mentioned India, he mentioned Korea.
India?
He mentioned India.
Maybe big, strong
And
guys,
then
wouldn't
Mertens
they?
made the point, like, because he was then indignant. Like, why would this guy mention the other countries? And he said, well, just look at it this way. It'll be very convenient for us to get to Korea because we know what they're testing at the north. Because you can fly over Japan.
He must have been inebriated. I remember what I was going to say. Also, this rule of, I mean, I know it happened with Australian teams, but anyone, if a team has got 42 points and another team's got 50 points, and the team with 50 points doesn't make the semi-finals, and the team with 42 points makes the semi-finals, I mean, what is that?
Yeah, no, that is a joke.
You're just rewarding mediocrity.
No, it is. It's just a poor,
Which it
poor
is.
system.
I
You know,
mean, it's like take a team Stoke, finishing 11th on the log with 32 teams. Because they're the best team from Stoke, they make the
Stokeville.
Champions League.
where is Stokeville?
Stokeville? I don't know. It's probably somewhere in Bloemfontein, somewhere
So
in the
that
Free
was,
State.
you were on about the cheaters. That was a good result, eh?
Fantastic result for them. Leinster is, if you look at the form historically in the Heineken Cup, they've won it 3 times. They are one of the better pedigreed sides.
I saw the Leinster coach before the game saying how well they've been received, how well they've been looked after. I think they went in the end. They went down to Cape Town instead of staying.
Did he say anything about his prop that got
The front
left
rank that got
behind?
thrown off.
No, he
Yeah.
didn't.
He wouldn't close his
Run over.
laptop on.
Is that the one they took off the plane?
So
Yeah.
they chucked him off.
Chucked him off and got the next one.
Yeah.
He said he didn't understand because he had his ear
Well, he's
plugged
not
in.
allowed to do that either. So
Yes, haven't you flown? On we go to the game
Not
in
with that.
Durban. Sharks against the Bulls. We're going to quickly breeze through these last 2 Currie Cup games. Liam, Sharks.
I
top
like a
the
bit
lot.
of the Bulls here as well. They may not have the team yet to win this game, but I think what will happen over the next couple of weeks, in fact into next season, is that they will improve, and the game they're playing under John Mitchell is a vastly different game from what we are used to from the Bulls. They keep the ball alive, they play into space, they play at a high tempo. They still don't have the substance up front to match other teams. That's basically what got the Lions over the line last week.
Is that your
But I think they're going to be a handful.
Your bet, Gary.
I like the Bulls today.
Mine as well.
I wouldn't be shocked if they even sneak a win. It's going to be very close, I
At
think,
some
in the
point,
last few
the
minutes.
Sharks must slip up.
Exactly.
Can you give me an update, John Mitchell?
Oh, John Mitchell.
Yeah. Is he now coaching the side?
Yes, he was appointed director of rugby a
Yes,
while
I know.
back.
Yeah.
And then after a few poor results at the start of the Currie Cup, Nollis Murray was the Currie Cup coach.
Yes.
He was cut
Sided.
adrift,
Yeah.
and Mitchell has now kind of rolled up his sleeves, vacated his office, and he's on the field coaching.
Oh, is he? Okay. Is that why they're improved in your opinion or not?
I think they will certainly improve, there's no doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
there we are.
Western Province, they, of course, at Newlands against Griquas. You're a big fan of Griquas, aren't you, Gary?
Can't stand them.
Up and down side, isn't it? Up and down side. Mostly down of late, though.
Yeah, I mean,
they've lost their last 4, and I think they've got very little prospect of winning this one.
Oh, no, they're definitely not gonna win
Their
this.
last win was away to, was it the Bulls?
Oh, really? They won an
between-
away game. They used to be a predominantly only decent results in...
No, sorry, they beat
Kimberley.
they beat the Cheetahs in Bloemfontein. That's what happened.
Right, which cheater side, though?
Well, it
The
doesn't
B side.
matter. Well, they got the points.
But I think the Stormers can beat us. A lot depends. There could be a little bit of rain in Cape Town today. I hope that there is. but not for the rugby, but obviously they need it down there. And if there is rain, then yes, maybe they can survive with 24.5 points Creekwood. But I think if conditions are good, I think Province could easily go past that. Easily.
Liam's got Western Province socks on. Let's just quickly chat about...
Those are more Greekwood socks.
You actually
Peacock
right.
blue.
Those are Greekwood socks.
Well spotted.
All we have to say is that socks are clearly in fashion because
What
Gary...
about shoes?
Look at this. Have a look at this.
I thought he bought them especially from Mauritius.
I'm going to phone Brahm on Monday. This is an absolute disgrace.
Look at the other one.
Look.
Show him the other one.
I'll see Brahm tomorrow. I mean,
we?
definitely, and I'll tell him that, please, if you could just get somebody.
Look at that.
No, that's disgraceful. I have to move
Here's
on.
a guy. Here's a man who can afford to go to Mauritius when none of us can even afford petrol in our car.
Right.
To get to the airport.
Yeah, I've got to take my sister to the airport today. Gary, what time are you flying? Could you pick her up? What time are you going back?
Yeah, I can collect her. Yeah, I'll
she's
tell
flying to
Melbourne to
Cape
come
Town.
straight past. What time?
She's flying at 11 on the same flight as you.
No. I'm
I'm
going
flying
much
at
later.
12, but I'm in my call
Later
before.
than that.
Okay,
but I mean, the truth is not only the look, which is terrible, right?
Yeah.
The pen and ink is absolutely unbearable. I mean, when I walked in this morning, I thought there was a skunk in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
No, she wasn't here yesterday.
Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable.
It's shocking, eh?
No,
Shocking.
Never washed his hair, never washed his feet. No, this is like a... If this was a health program, you'd be thrown
They can
straight
afford
off,
to fly to Mauritius and you can't afford... you go up to see Brahmi and you'll get a pair of...
Brahmi.
Brahmi,
and he'll give you some stuff to clean.
Clean them. Yep. Clean them.
You haven't cleaned them. Actually,
Clean as a whistle.
Alistair, to be fair, that's extreme makeover territory.
Yeah.
Right
These are comfortable. They're ventilation.
Do the ladies
No,
you
the
take
ventilation
out...
doesn't work. It just gets all of us to...
Do you wear them
inhale
out when
the
you take
aroma.
your lady out? Not ladies.
And look, he doesn't even tie his laces the same way. One's a single bow and one's
there's
just
a
a knot.
double.
He's all over the place.
No.
But that's trendy, they tell me, Gary.
And I can
Well,
answer your
talking
question.
about trends, I mean, two very famous sportsmen, Lewis Hamilton and Neymar. I mean, that...
Yeah, but they can.
Which is
You know
What do you mean they can? I mean, look at that.
Which
What
one is Lewis Hamilton?
None of them have got holes in their
Lewis
shoes.
Hamilton's the one in the middle.
Neither of them have got holes in their shoes.
But what about the pants? I mean, come on.
pants.
But that's a different look. But I mean, I know to answer your question, I know how he got to Mauritius.
A freebie again.
Well, he probably got a rich girlfriend or something. You never know. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
And he tries to associate with also people with cash, doesn't he?
Oh,
Who'd
he
you go
just
with?
Name drops all the time now. Hey?
Doesn't he?
How
Did you
get
pick
it?
that up as well?
Unbelievable, you know?
Everywhere you go, my mate here, I won't
Yeah.
say their names, and
Yeah.
we say
Why
you
are
don't.
you grinning? You playing golf with the president.
I am.
Hey, you've been invited, isn't it?
Ex-president.
President's Cup. Is that what it's called?
That's called, I forget what it's called. But anyway, it's on Tuesday.
Which
At
president?
Royal Johannesburg.
Which president?
The one that...
Come on,
the
what's his
interim
name? Say it.
I can't pronounce it.
Come on, you can do it.
Monty, is it?
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
Yeah.
Not your best.
Is your
Not the
suspension
best.
up for those tournaments?
No. All
No,
over
because
there, no.
you know he got suspended for taking all the prizes all the time. You weren't invited for a
You
few
might get a
years.
presidential
You've been
pardon.
invited, you're right. I won it.
14 Nedbank umbrellas on your boots.
Yeah, well, I used to win that every year. But,
Win or
yeah, but
steal?
Tuesday, looking forward to that.
That's brilliant, eh?
Yeah, Mr.
Where'd you say he
Ramaphosa
plays?
is going to be there as well.
Yes.
Who? Moses.
Ramaphosa.
Oh, I thought you said Moses.
No,
That
it's a
would have
big-
been a nice
it's a big
one.
it's a big charity day. I think it's something to do with the
How come
Gary
you-
player.
When was the last time you gave anything away?
Oh, well,
He's a
we're not going to
charity.
give any away there.
I thought he meant like he randomly drove over somebody who's posing on the side of the road because that is a Ramaphosa.
So all the big names are there.
So I believe, yeah.
How come you got in?
That I haven't got a clue. I do actually know because I'm quite close to them.
Are you?
Are you? Tied up with
Well,
government.
quite close to somebody who's very close.
Done.
Yeah.
Gupta, well done.
Funny you should mention that.
Can't say that.
All right, let's quickly talk about the Techie Town competition. Of course, that's very important.
It's a Rod's competition.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a feeling that my student might win this week. Weekly competition last week was
Guy
won
again?
by Mark Adams. Hey?
You got him last week, didn't you? Right, the week before you organised that?
No, last week was a lady won it.
Oh, did
Exactly,
she?
yes. Yeah, 100%. This draw is done. It's not we go and select a name.
Random,
Yeah.
No, let me tell you.
KPMG overseas.
Early on, Gary is involved in selecting the
and
winners.
my mate won it every week.
Every week for about 6 weeks. Then we brought in the system. We had to pay for it and actually randomly selects the winner.
Randomly.
Randomly.
Okay, well,
So now there's only one way I can get my friends in, right?
Yeah.
And you'll see now.
oh my word. Who is Glasgow Rangers' leading goal scorer of all time? Is it A. Gordon Strachan, B. Graham Eaton, or C. Ali McQuaist? Do you know the answer to this,
I
Terry?
do, mate.
Well done. Is it B?
Can only be one. Usually you've got to be a Catholic, haven't you?
And he's
Usually.
coaching. He's
Yeah, Catholic, yeah.
I thought Rangers was... No.
I thought
Rangers is Protestant, Celtic is
Celtic is
Catholic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Catholics are The Celtic.
Listen, it's past your bedtime.
The Protestants are Rangers.
Please answer with your...
Everybody knows that. I think Neil's been to one of those.
Please answer with your name and surname. Competition closes on Monday at 6 o'clock. SMS your answer to 44472. Terms and conditions apply. SMS costs 50 cents per entry. Standard rates apply. No free SMSs. Right, on that subject, let's get into football. Let's see what goes on this couch, because Rod's favourite team played Terry's favourite team later this weekend. Did you even know that, Rod?
No, I haven't got a clue.
Well, we start off with the London derby, though. Two teams that don't like each other a hell of a lot. West Ham hosting Spurs, Terry. Spurs will be happy that they're playing this away from Wembley.
Yeah, away from Wembley. I mean, the game very disappointed last week. I mean, let everybody down in their bets. I'm sure they did. And the fact that they go to a West Ham side who did at least get past Huddersfield Town. And but I've gone for Tottenham. I still think away from home, a little bit more space. West Ham still got a lot to do. Still got a lot of injuries. I honestly think Tottenham are a good bet.
What do you mean by a little bit more space?
Well, in terms of, you know, at least West Ham have come to them when everybody plays Tottenham there, they all sit on the edge of the box and say, well, break us down. A la last week, of course, when... who was it? Swansea, wasn't it?
But they're 0-0s and 0-0s. I mean, if you look at the Spurs game with Swansea, right, they had a lot of chance.
No, absolutely.
It was just unlucky. And then when Arsenal played Chelsea, it's a different 0-0. Chelsea had one chance, right? So, I mean, you know, you can't say that Spurs are a poor side because they were a bit unlucky last week.
Well, the thing is, they keep bringing up the Wembley thing. They forget they beat Borussia Dortmund 3-1 there during the week. That was at Wembley as well. But you know, it's same old case until they get a couple of wins under their belt. That's going to be brought up at the media every time they have a meeting, and when the media get involved, that's the first thing they answer. What about Wembley? What about Wembley? But Tottenham, for me, I mean, we already come out this week. I mean, 2 or 3 managers saying they think he's as good a striker there is in the world.
Harry Kane.
So one suggesting he won't stay there any longer if they don't win trophies, which has been poured water on. But yeah, I think they'll beat West Ham. I really do.
All right, let's get into the next game at Turf Moor. It's Burnley against Huddersfield, Terry. Burnley, listen, they were probably lucky to come away from Anfield with a point, because Liverpool dominated everything.
What a game, exactly as we've seen against Swansea. I mean, I think it's a bit, from my point of view, I think it's a little bit disappointing that these teams are just going to sit in and hope that's going to be their day. It doesn't make for particularly good watching, you know, one team dominating all the time, but the frustration of not being able to hit the back of the net, a nice early goal sets everything up. But the longer it goes, the more frustrated you can hear the crowd, how frustrated they're going.
What can they do, though, Tim? What can they do to make more? If you think, when you played football, right, the win was 2 points.
Yeah.
And they moved it to 3 points to try to create more attacking football, right? And I think that it has worked, and no back passes that the keepers can pick up. But is there any way to get away sides to play football? Well, a bonus point for winning away from home, something like that, or not?
But even passing back to the goalkeeper has brought the goalkeeper into a different era altogether. He's like an outfield player now. Absolutely, he's like an outfield player now, whereas before you just get it and punted it down the field and that was it. So all those changes they've made, in some ways, you know, hasn't really done the business. And you say the 3 points, although it's been successful, you know, 3 up and 3 down was another one they brought in. But again, you've come to a situation there where, you know, teams are going to sit in, and you're going to have to break them down. And Liverpool proved that although they had chances, they
were unlucky going forward, but their leaky defence will always catch up with them.
Absolutely right, and that's the problem.
I know what you think. Everyone knows what I think. I might have asked you this before. Is Klopp a manager or a fraud?
You keep bringing this up, the two of you.
Well,
if you look at the way he's sort of delved in the transfer market and not going with a recognised defender. I mean, they tried to get Van Dijk, that fell through. It didn't seem to have a plan B. I mean, everything seemed to rest on the Van Dijk deal, and it didn't happen. And a more astute manager, I would imagine, would have had a plan B, if not a plan C.
But how many people went across to Liverpool and said they want to go across to Liverpool because of the coach? He can't be a fraud. You know what I mean? People like Chamberlain and that are saying they want to go to Liverpool because he's there.
They play
Chamberlain's gone there, and I don't think he's going to get a start.
He might change his mind next month, yes. But I'm saying,
I still think the jury's out. I haven't. No, he's not my cup of tea, but. You know, if he does the job.
Don't get me wrong. I think he's great. I think he's a breath of fresh air. Says what he likes. I mean, he fits in perfectly on this show.
Yeah, he actually asked to come.
What do you mean? He'll say something.
I tell you what, if you had Alan Hansen and Glenn Hussein as central defenders, Liverpool would be the best team in the league.
There we go.
Quite right.
Yes. Right, on to this game. This game. Boys, boxing gloves on.
Well,
Rod, what do you think?
I've got to pick a bone with you.
Well,
You've told all the punters last week, don't back Southampton. They can't score. They can't do this. And what do they do?
Well, they had one shot at goal and they scored.
Well, they
in
scored.
90 minutes. So one shot in 90 minutes.
Yeah, but you told everyone they can't.
And the other mob, how
Gee,
bad are they?
They never had a
How
good goal.
bad was they?
Yeah, but you still stuck everyone out. You said, don't back Southampton.
I did, because I didn't fancy them. And nor did another 50 million around the world as well. But apart from that, I thank goodness I was wrong.
So,
we got
okay,
3
now
points.
tell us about this game. You must have a big chance here.
Why?
You're at St
Because
Mary's.
we can't score goals.
At St Mary's.
And we haven't scored goals at St Mary's for 7 games. And you want me to back Southampton to beat Man United?
I'm just listening why.
A draw.
Are you joking?
I'm going for the 9-2 draw. One thing we can do, we can defend. Now, whether we can defend for 90 minutes, I'm not sure.
It was in the 90s that Southampton had that fantastic record against United.
Oh, we got a great record.
Remember when they had to change their kits at half-time? Ferguson said they couldn't see each other.
Well, we were 5 up by then, weren't we?
Well, you could score in those days, could you?
Well, no, you couldn't, because you had a grace and they couldn't see each other.
Is that why they couldn't score? They had the wrong jersey?
Yeah, they had the wrong jerseys on.
I've heard some...
That's what Alex Ferguson...
It was Man United.
It
was Man United.
Alex Ferguson said that.
That's Alex Ferguson.
I've heard some
He
rubbish.
said, it's my fault, we played in the grey outfit.
And that's why they couldn't score.
That's why they couldn't
What a
score.
load
They
of
couldn't
rubbish.
see each other. It was a grey day down on the south coast.
So you can't score if
That's
you've got
a
a
nice
They were playing in the mist.
What, your legs
It was like
see?
the gorillas in the mist. They couldn't see them.
Gorillas in the mist.
Yeah, couldn't see them. Yeah. You not see that film?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, well,
with
there you are.
Diane Keating.
No.
Oh, no.
What about
Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah,
Yes.
well done, matey.
She was an alien as well. That's right. Diane
She was an
Keating.
alien.
She was in
Oh,
Alien. She wasn't an
Was
alien.
she the one that came out the stomach?
You think of Dan Fossey?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Diane
She's the
Foster,
person who
well
actually
Yes,
did it. See, I was on the right
done.
track.
Well done, matey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway,
Anyhow,
Southampton.
I've gone for a draw.
Have you? Right.
You, Rod?
Oh,
He goes
you're
for
playing
Man
one
United.
of the
He only
best.
knows one team.
No,
he
I
jumps
don't.
on the bandwagon.
Well, no,
Man United.
I'm not
Man
bandwagon.
United.
I'm not
How many
bandwagon.
times have you been to Old Trafford?
Really?
No. Yeah, I know.
I've driven past it. I did.
Not that Old Trafford. You played at the other one, surely.
No.
Never played the cricket ground.
Did I?
Old
I
Trafford.
played a game for. You know who I played a game with when I played in Lancaster.
Lancaster League?
Lancaster. No,
Oh.
I played in the second team
For Lancaster.
with a swing bowler called from Australia who took all the wickets in the 70s in a Test series there. I can't. Mick Malone.
Oh, Mick Malone! Never heard of it.
Anyway,
Anyway, I know.
so look, United have got too many strikers. They will.
Okay.
They will pepper the goal. Don't you? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think I'm saying if we can, we've got a decent defence, but we may have to defend for 90 minutes.
Your defender's very good. What's it, number 6? I forgot his name.
Van Dijk?
No, he started last week. Very
Very
good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey,
Dutchman.
What a great left foot. We've bought it in.
Brilliant.
The boy is going to be brilliant for Southampton. We won't keep him a year.
Yeah.
As the boy in midfield.
Oh.
We got from Juventus. Name?
Forgotten, but also top class.
Top class.
He's got terrible
we bought
hair.
again. We've gone into the marketplace and we've unearthed another couple. We've only paid
They do very well then.
17, 18 million for them.
What's
You
his
wait
name?
and see.
What's the name? So I can follow it. What's his name?
Hoy, you would know.
No, the midfielder.
Larima.
Who?
Larima.
Larima.
All right, on to the next game. Let's put that one to bed. Terry says draw. Swansea against Watford. I'll be rushing out to watch this game, Terry.
I know. Well, I mean, I don't
you've said
know.
enough.
Watford got beat 6-0
6-0.
last week.
They
I
were
mean,
quite
they
lucky.
look awful. It was a Manchester City side, mine, and Swansea aren't in that category, that's for sure. Swansea, the last beat Southampton away 2-0. So I wouldn't rule them out here. If I was going to have a bet here, I'd go for the draw again, 4-1.
I think so.
Okay, we've got about 6 minutes to talk about the other game, so let's
Okay,
quickly get
rush them
through it.
through.
Stoke against Chelsea. Terry, Stoke tend to lift their game when they play
Yeah, they
against
do.
Chelsea's.
And they have beaten Arsenal there, haven't they, this year, 1-0. I still like Chelsea.
So do I.
I just worried, the captain is still missing for Stoke and one or two at the back there. And I'm got to go for Chelsea there, I'm afraid.
Didn't they
Gary?
draw with United?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
At
No,
home?
away
Yeah.
from it. That was
I'm still not convinced by Chelsea. I'm not going to take any odds on Chelsea for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they won't win, I just think there's no value in
Remember what I
odds
told at the beginning of the season? Wait until the end of September before you get a real look at what's going to happen. And we saw again the results last week. Hey, they can, really put you out. Yeah,
got to be careful.
They did.
All right, let's get into the next match. This is Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Let's move along.
Well,
Crystal Palace,
no
goals in 5 games.
What
They
about
goals up there.
half-time and full-time?
All those things, right?
And all those, everything you can think of, put on Manchester City.
Yeah.
Because Crystal Palace, I mean, they were horrendous.
One of my best bets, but I think I might have gone a little low because I said City will at least bag 2, but it could easily be 3 or 4.
You were very adventurous this morning, weren't you?
Yeah, I think you just take the lot there, more than 2.5, winning at half-time, full-time, whatever you want. I think put it on City.
Just know, as soon as we get off the show, I'm typing up the message, just waiting to send. If it's 0-0 at half-time, you're going to hear it from me. All right, on to the next game we go. It's Everton against Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth got a bit of a chance here. What do you think?
No. Now you like Everton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do actually.
They need to score a few goals.
I don't like the 6-10 about Everton.
It's a bit short. But
that's a bit short for me.
But the thing is, I think we don't realise how bad Bournemouth are because they've had a decent fortnight, but I think they're still a poor side that will battle to stay up. That's what I think.
Well, I think they battle to keep clean sheets, but Everton haven't exactly,
No.
So,
but who have Everton underperformed against? Or the teams above them, or have they underperformed against everybody?
The worst game was in the UEFA League.
Atalanta.
Atalanta. I've never seen a worse Everton performance that day.
Against an Atalanta side who's actually not even that accustomed to playing in there.
Exactly. I mean, they finished 4th in Serie A, which when I looked it up, I thought, oh, well done to them. That was a great effort. So they can't be that bad, but at the same time, then they lost to Spurs 3-0. I don't know, but you're right. I mean, Bournemouth are no great shape.
No, they're not scoring enough goals.
It's like what?
Can't keep clean sheets.
Yeah.
Right, Leicester-Liverpool. Liam, of course, Liverpool went to Leicester during the week in the Carabao Cup, and are there any words?
I'm not bullish about this at all.
7 looks like Liverpool.
It looks like he may have to play Klavan.
What is Caribou? Any idea?
What is?
Caribou Cup. What is Caribou?
It's a marijuana.
Isn't caribou like a moose?
Yeah, but it's a different spelling. It's a different thing altogether.
Sorry. You didn't even know what a caribou was.
It's a big bloody horn thing.
You were talking about grass just now.
Horn.
What? They eat grass, but you were talking about what the other stuff. What,
he's talking about
marijuana?
elk.
Hey?
Elk.
An elk.
Elk, they are.
You're unbelievable how you agree with everything and you haven't got a clue.
But that's horns. There's big horns.
Yeah, but
that's a caribou.
Is it?
Yeah, of course it is. What's caribou? Any idea?
No, I don't.
No. Caribou Cup. What are they?
It's an energy drink.
What is it?
It's an energy drink.
It's a Thai energy drink. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows.
Good for Thai boxing and stuff.
So what do you think, Leo?
I think they'll struggle there. They've got Klavan and Gomez apparently in the centre of defence.
That's reassuring.
Exactly. So Leicester's 2 goals.
Just remember, Vardy may not be playing. May not. I just think Liverpool are a much better side away from home than they are at home.
Possible.
Well,
I'll go for the draw there.
Look, I think they'll sneak a goal as well. I mean, Liverpool will score a goal or 2, but I'm not bullish about it. I'm not bullish about a Liverpool win at all.
Okay, on to the Sunday game. Long trip for Newcastle. Terry, down to your neck of the woods.
Yeah, down to the south coast. Yeah, again, Newcastle going well, aren't they?
Will it be quite grey again?
I mean, top 4, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't have them either. Mind you, I can't have Brighton either. So
they're well organised, but they're just probably not good enough.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I don't think there's enough quality in either side. So you take your choice there. I wouldn't be getting involved in that.
Goals scored, 2.5?
No, I wouldn't get involved. I just said I wouldn't get involved. Jeez, can't you hear?
Well, what about but okay, you know
Oi, what have you given here? Yeah,
okay, well,
that's it. Such a mess.
Hang on. Last week, I gave you 13-10 to beat England in the T20. It arrived. Told India to beat Australia.
Oh, big deal.
Well, the favourites were England. Don't just go for favourites like you do. I try and find the outsiders, try and give the public a bit of value. When was the last time you've tipped...
Actually, I got a letter from who? From the Guinness Book of Records. No, I did. They said, they said, hey, if you want to stay in, you've got to put up your boots. Because we gave, what did we give last week? Liverpool.
Spurs.
Yeah. We gave Spurs.
No, Liverpool, I didn't put in Spurs.
So they put everybody out.
Everybody got scorched.
Everybody got
So what are you
scorched.
trying to tell me? You've had a bad week?
Yes, that's what they said.
Right, well, let's talk about Monday's game. It's Arsenal against West Brom. Arsenal 1-3. West Brom are going to park the bus. You know what you're going to get, don't you?
Exactly. There's another game. Can they break them down? West Brom might just sneak in with a little free kick, which they're brilliant at. But again, I've got to go for Arsenal. I think they're in a good vein of form. But I think it'd be very, very difficult. It won't be an easy game. Never is against West Brom. It's another game you're not going to really enjoy. But, you know, Arsenal are going to have all the...
They showed a bit of mongrel last week, didn't they?
They did.
Unlike Arsenal.
I mean, it was a good performance for Arsenal last week, let's be fair, against Chelsea. Could have gone either way. I thought they had the better chances overall over the 90 minutes. But that was disappointing, 0-0. And again, you'd have gone more than 2.5, wouldn't you, for that game?
Well, I think we got the West Brom. We said there'd be no goals, maybe 0-0, and I think it finished 0-0, didn't it?
West Brom, West Ham, wasn't it?
Last week,
West Brom, West Ham.
We said no goals. And I think that's
we
how
did.
finished.
We said that.
Why are you looking at me?
Right, let's just quickly get into the PSL. We've got about 4 minutes until we have to go back to Rose Hill.
Did you see Mark Fisher's tip last week?
No.
He said, you weren't here. Mark Fisher said, tell us the best bet of the day. And I'm just scaring down there to see it. Golden Arrows.
Yeah, they won
He
it.
said absolute certainties. 2-1, they won 4-0.
Yeah, they did.
Well done, Fish.
Yeah, they did.
Well, getting back on, we need a decent soccer expert.
All right, here's this weekend's fixtures. Who wants to have a stab at this?
Jim, they are difficult, aren't they? Barocca's going well, though, eh?
Second,
Rocker going very well.
Barocca going well against Cape.
Wits, on the other hand, aren't.
Well, this, he's
I'll say that's a draw.
he's second,
looks like
he's
a
second
draw
to
to
bottom,
me.
isn't he? I mean, they're really struggling, Vits.
Okay, so we like Barocca. We're going draw Wits Pirates, but we're not going to put our money on that. What about Chiefs Arrows? Can Arrows
had a win this week, didn't they?
They did.
Maybe they've turned
Chiefs,
the
they
corner.
won, yeah.
No, maybe they've turned the corner.
Yeah.
Arrows are a good side, though.
I like
They're
the
well
Durban
organised.
side
Very
next
good,
game.
but Amazulu, they beat Vits 3-0.
And Platinum Stars are heading
Platinum
down.
Stars are so bad.
I'm telling you, 23-20, Amazulu's the best.
Tell you what, I like Chipper United at the bottom as well. They held Supersport United during the week, and they hardly lose at home.
Celtic lost as well, I believe, at home. Yeah.
Make some money in the PSL's top class.
Just don't go. Did you have a look at the results over the weekend? It was only, the one 4-0 was the only one over 2.5 goals.
Really, yeah?
Of all of that fixtures.
In all seriousness, though, if you think about last season with that chase for the title when Wits actually came good, but that relegation scrap at the bottom, there's a lot to like about the PSL. I mean, fine, you might not get your 4-0s too often, your 4-3s and things like that, but as far as competitiveness is concerned, it seems to produce...
If you enjoy it, there are a lot of games you can get into. As long as Chiefs aren't playing Pirates, you can always get in if you enjoy it so much, you know. Just pitch up and the chance you'll get a decent seat.
Is that rumour true that Cape Verde are coming into the PSL next year?
I should win the league. Okay, well, that's pretty much that. We're going to get over to Rose Hill, but before we do, thanks very much to all our friends on Soweto TV for watching. We'll be back again 7 o'clock next week. After this race from Rose Hill, what are we shouting home? Assimilate.
Yes.
We're shouting home Assimilate.
Decent price.
After this race, we'll come back and we'll chat about some cricket, Mr. McCurdy.
Oh.
And here's Lizzie Jolce with her pick of the yard.
And Shogun's son is one that I really wanted to mention. I thought he looked great as well.
then Trapeze Artist. 2 off 2, Dracaris from Diamond Tathagata. Further back to Pariah on the outside of Merchant Navy. Then came Chauffeur, assimilates out deep from Shogun Sun and Champagne Cuddles, the last one. They've gone hard in this. It's the Mission and Paras turning together from Gold Standard, giving chase. Then for Melody Minari and Trapeze Artist running down the outside. Paras takes the lead at the 300 metres. Trapeze Artist, Minari get going with Gold Standard. It's Trapeze Artist, a half length clear from Minari, and then came Gold Standard. Trapeze Artist down to the 100. He's starting to extend away. Here's a big win in the Golden Rose for Trapeze Artist in Thai England. What a win. Second goes to Champagne Cuddles. Photo third, Gold Standard and Minari. Then came Assimilate from Parast. Further back to Dracaris, Chauffeur, Merchant Navy for Melody, Pariah, Shogun Sun, The Mission, and Diamond Tathagata. Well, Gerald Ryan's won it.
Trapeze Artist. It was Gerald Ryan, but not the horse everyone thought it would be. It's not Minari today, it's Trapeze Artist. Ty Anglin and Gerald Ryan, they win the Group 1 Golden Rose at $42.30 and $9.20. Here's the photo for the minors. It'll be the filly Champagne Cuddles running second, Minari third, then Gold Standard, Assimilate, Chauffeur, then Paras, then Dracaris, then Pariah. But Trapeze Artist, number 5 at any old odd stuff.
Wow, 91 into 41 late here, so someone's got to quit out of it. The blinker's back on today. He covered ground in a high pressure race. He loomed on the point of the turn, and there was a feeling that he was going better than Mirari. It wasn't a feeling, it was a fact. He just raced away, and he wins like an even money chance there. He was absolutely sensational. Champagne Cuddles, she was the hard fit horse in a high pressure race on the back up there. She was terrific. Minari.
Okay. Unlucky, Don, we know how you feel.
What, being a loser?
Yes, exactly.
You know, the problem is I can't do the show next week for holiday reasons, but I think Dom could take my place.
Which holiday?
No, I'm not going anywhere. No, it's a religious holiday. So I thought
religious holiday?
Dom could take my place,
don't
right?
You know? No, Jewish holiday.
No idea.
Cohen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't you do it?
I'll take every holiday, Hindu, Muslim, Jewish.
So I thought maybe Dom could do a full hour, you know, seeing he knows so much about football now and rugby and cricket. But after those 2 tips, Ricky. People don't realise how smart Ricky the cameraman is. Every time we don't know a question, right?
Those Carabaos.
Who's the number 6 thing? And there's Ricky in the background giving hand signals. Brilliant.
Sign language is
I hope my man from Modderfontein didn't wake up in time this morning. Scott.
Oh, is it Scott?
He wants you too.
Is there an echo in here?
Pardon?
Right.
Pardon. Right, cricket time.
Yep.
Let's talk about cricket.
Yeah, Rod, he knows, yeah. He's been studying.
Yeah,
come on, Rod, give us
well, let's talk about the ODI series on the go at the moment, both of them, with England, West Indies, and also India and Australia. You're so clever. Well done for tipping everything so far.
West Indies, we said West Indies in the shorter version of the game would be more competitive, and they were TT World Champions. If you listened last week, Terry, there was 13 on the offer to back them outright. But then, no, we said we'll give you even more value. Take
and
India.
The 50 game?
Eh?
And the 50 over?
Yeah, we only tipped T20 last week. We didn't jump ahead.
No, we didn't.
No, so I'm saying England to be too strong for them. But there is the danger. What?
1 to 5 England.
Well, I don't do the betting. Why are you looking at? Why are you saying that to me?
1 to 5. You're saying how good West Indies are.
No,
England are 1 to 5.
What I was saying is
Gale's injured. He's done his hamstring. You've done your homework.
Tell you what, it's a good thing they didn't play this series at home.
Quite right.
I mean, with Irma and Maria, I mean, they could be everywhere.
So England are too strong. Obviously, that's why they're priced up.
England are too strong now.
Listen, you didn't give me a chance. I was talking about the T20 last week.
But that's over a week ago.
But I'm now getting into the 50 over. You're not giving me a chance.
We've already played 2.
Yeah.
Well, 1.
1, yeah. But
the one got rained out.
Yeah. Oh, you knew that.
Do you know how ugly that? Thank God for the West Indies that got rained out. How much do you think England would have made had they batted for 50 overs? 800?
They had 20 odd after 2, didn't they?
22 for what?
Flattest pitch ever. I would have made 100. Oh, speaking of flat pitches, how was that pitch in Bloemfontein, the Sunfoil series?
Geez, everybody made runs except Bavuma. He got out for a golden duck.
600 odd somebody got.
Yeah.
The nuts. I think 603 for 4. 5 of their batsmen made hundreds. And Bavuma lost at 1 ball.
Yeah, he got
But he looked good in that ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
he did well to
strode
nick
out
it.
to the pitch. Well, beautiful.
Did well to nick it.
Are you blaming the pitch?
Came out
He
to
took
the,
a guard
came out to the
nicely.
middle, looked magnificent.
By the way, our action cricket team won on Thursday night.
Did they? In the E-League? What do you?
F-League.
F-League, yeah.
F?
Hey. Shane, you want to see him?
I don't know what league we're in.
Shane.
It's not a good league, that I can tell you.
But they've taken, you know why they won? They took the ramp away.
Oh.
For those guys.
Actually, man of the match, JP Fundamava, had a crack.
Oh, really? What did he do?
Has he got a bank account now?
He hasn't got
I
a
wanted
car.
to ask him that. He once rode a winner for me. He won a Group 2 for me, so I thought I'd phone him up and give him a present. So I phoned him up and said, you know, give us your bank details. He gave it. Have you ever tried to do an EFT to the post office? You got no chance, right?
Did he really?
Post
The
office?
account was at the post office, right? We tried everything. Boom, eventually they'd cut me off the internet even, and he never got paid. Stuff for him, right?
I tell you what, he's got a bank account now after hearing that. He probably forgot.
Ask him. You know, he rode winning leap in the gold.
Right, so England, everyone knows, is going to win. They're a better side, and especially along with the format. Australia, I think Gary and I are on the right path. We were very bullish Australia would get beaten. I mean, their batting's very thin, and we're both on the page that we're still leaning towards. I know you England a bit in the Ashes coming up.
I'm definitely an England fan.
Yeah,
definitely,
I
not even
think so.
leaning. I'm a big fan of England for the
Johnny
Ashes.
Bairstow, given a chance, opened the batting.
Yeah.
What did he do? First time,
Just
100. He's a good player, that guy, isn't he? Eh? And their middle orders, I think it could be strong. I know it's different conditions. The ball's going to bounce.
Team gets picked Wednesday for the Ashes.
Is it?
It'll be a very interesting team. I'll tell you what,
He's A. Jones.
Yeah, Toby Rowland Jones done a stress
He's
fracture.
Oh, is
done
he?
his back.
Did he?
Fracture in the back, so
that's
he's not
him.
going.
Yep.
I hope
would
Alex
like him
Hales
in the
gets
bench.
picked and he slots in at 5 for England's sake.
Who?
Because Alex Hales.
So if you're having a bet this weekend, India are too strong for Australia, aren't they?
There you
Those
are,
conditions.
11 to 20.
Yeah. Too strong. They're just too strong for it. And I think we picked it out last week. You know, we didn't say, you know, Australia be competitive. I watched the game the other night. They had a chance until Smith went out. As soon as he went out, the game was over. I got up and said, let's go outside again. When
That's what we said. They're a side, batting side that relies on Smith and Warner. And that's
Correct.
It. There's nobody else. No
But do you really
substitute.
rate this Indian side? Because I think they've got a few holes in that side as well.
Well, they're coming out here over Christmas. I think they've agreed to three tests and 5
January.
one
They're
days.
starting
And it's a
first
disgrace
test
that test starts on the 5th. I mean,
January.
Fifth of
you can't
January.
call that a
Work.
New Year's test. What is that?
But,
You've got,
but
you've
anyway,
got Bangladesh coming out for
Easter
the Boxing
You
Day.
got Zimbabwe now.
Zimbabwe.
haven't you? Zimbabwe for Boxing Day.
Day night
Whoopee.
test in Port
That'll be a
Elizabeth.
sellout. I'm telling you now.
Come on, it's a day-nighter as well.
It'll be a sellout.
You're actually good with predicting crowds in Port Elizabeth. How many people do you think are going to go to that?
including physios, burger sellers and security.
Yeah, everyone.
90 a day. And only last 3 days,
And it'll be the,
217 total.
members of the band
Yeah,
as well.
217. Our days band don't even go. And if they do not play the last
There's a
post,
g- there a g- hey,
I'll put money on the
that's all that they play, the
can I
last
just
post.
hey, another tradition gone. Hey, another tradition gone.
5-day cricket.
Yeah.
Finished.
Another tradition gone.
No, they've been very, very accommodating, the Indian cricket board. Fantastic.
But if
Again,
you think about it, it is a way of potentially protecting 5-day, not 5-day cricket, but test cricket, by speeding things up a little bit.
Tell you what,
But the first 4-day test is
Condense it.
coming up. You see that?
I saw that.
We've been talking about that for a while. So I think they should be allowed to bat one day. You bat
Yes.
the next day,
Yes.
that's it, and the best team wins.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen in this 4-day test, is it?
Well, it should do.
Zimbabwe might bat first, till lunch.
For they're going to get murdered.
When is lunch? Like 6:30.
By the way, I saw a brilliant interview during that rain delay at Trent Bridge. Have you seen that Michael Atherton, Kumar Sangakkara interview? Any of you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of it.
Best interview I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
not good interview.
People don't realise how good Sangakkara was. I keep saying it. What a cricketer. What a, you know what I mean?
What
And
a
he came
human-
wicket as well.
What a human being.
Yeah.
What
No,
he
he's a
went
great
through
bloke
to get there.
And he speaks so well and everything
Well,
else.
he's a
Great.
qualified lawyer.
Yes, but how's your Sri Lankan? And please don't say you went there when it was Ceylon, Terry.
No.
You know, there you go. That's the 1 to 30 shot. If you can get 1 to 40 on that one every week, you know.
South Africa named Otis Gibson named his first side.
Yes, hey, interesting, isn't it? He's going to realise
What's
coming...
the team he's picked?
everyone knows about it. It was in the press.
I can tell you this
Has
much.
he got
Otis
a
Gibson
clue?
went
I
to
have
Wanderers last week and he bumped into a journal. Now, you must remember, he arrived last week and you think back what happened in Albany. So he saw all these headlines, all these newspaper posters. Well, goes online and reads up. So he bumps into a journal at the Wanderers and says, do you think all this stuff is going to happen to me too if we don't win?
They lose to Bangladesh at Mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won't lose to that. Not in South Africa.
No, never.
But his interview was very good. I watched on one of the other channels. Would they have him on? He was talking
Inside
to,
Edge.
Yeah, that's it, to Pomelo.
Silly point, isn't it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Good call. But Yeah, I watched the interview, very good interview with Pommy, and he spoke very openly and whatever, and he said, hey, if the stick needs to come out, the stick will come out. If the guys don't want to...
Otis said this. Oh, and he's got
I've showered with him, so...
Well,
I played with him in Border, so you
in Border. Did Pommy let him get a word in?
Yeah, no.
Did he let him speak?
Yeah, he got plenty in. So, no, it was a very good interview, and certainly be looking forward to see how he goes, and he'll soon realise... You reckon it was offsides?
Huh?
Yeah.
We need to move on to golf.
Right.
Tour Championship leaderboard, 2 rounds done. Interesting at the top of the leaderboard. It's a 3-way tie at the top. Terry, have you been following? I'm sure you've been watching a bit of the Portuguese.
I have, actually. I've been watching the Portuguese as well. I mean, I'd love to see Paul Casey, the Englishman, win it, obviously. But Justin Thomas, you picked him out a little while ago and said he's the one to watch. He just looks.
That's one hell of a leaderboard. You have to say.
It is a fabulous leaderboard. You still don't know what's going to win either.
I've got Casey as one of my best bets to stay in the top 3.
Have you?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the best scoring.
He has. I
since
saw
2010.
that. In these, that's right. I saw that.
I'll tell you another golfer to watch next year. Never heard of him until about 3 months ago. Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, Schauffele. He played nicely yesterday.
Good player.
Xander
de Bruin.
He used to do a rugby program.
No, Xander de Bruin played 1 test for South Africa.
No, you're talking about Zandberg Jansen.
Zandberg Jansen.
Yes.
Die
Springbok.
Yeah. It looks like he had a few cigarettes too many. You know?
Is this what a Tour Championship? Is this the competition or is this the FedEx?
No, this is the tour. This is the competition.
Just the competition.
Because I can tell you now that Patrick Reed is not going to win the FedEx, and neither is Webb Simpson. Not where they are.
I'd like to hear Gary's opinion on the golf because I remember last week you were brilliant. You said that guy out on top will crumble, he'll fall apart, and you'll see these big names come on. He won by 5, didn't he?
I didn't say that. I said I thought the other 3 were value. I think Leishman's okay.
He's great.
I tell you what, he's been a lucky golfer for me.
Has he? Back him at Sun City?
When he won the Nedbank.
He was running away.
Remember, I even told you before, just before you went, I said, racing series.
But I'm going to get out of it. 33 to 10 is the wrong price, Thomas. I promise you, I thought that if you got 64, it would be a big price.
Yeah, should be 2 to 1.
Yeah. And here he's 33 to 10. I promise you, I'm going to have a bigger strike. I'm having breakfast with Rayno now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Rayno or Rano?
No, I'm having breakfast with Rayno. I'm going to tell him just to get on whatever he can.
Have they still got that buffet breakfast?
No, we're going to a health place, funny enough,
okay,
you know what I'm saying?
You and Rayno are going to a health place?
Yeah.
Should be a good sight.
Meantime, maybe it's a sign of the times. I had salad for dinner last night.
I didn't eat last night. I got back from...
Have you got the Portuguese?
Let's have a look at the Portuguese. Who's this, Terry?
Never heard of him, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can win this. It'd be something like 24 under. I promise you.
Yeah, no, how's that course?
I mean, it's a short course in terms of length, 660 yards, I think 6,060.
I was going to say 660 yards, 18
Anybody's
holes.
got a chance there. What about even, he's not on there, Thomas Aitken. He shot 63 or 64, I think it was. So anybody's got a chance there. And when you're looking at the...
US Luton.
Hey, what about George Coetzee? That's 2.5 stone.
How was he in the first? How was he in the front 9 on Thursday? 6 under.
But he shot 60, but he's lost 2.5 stone. I didn't recognise him.
How much is that in English?
£35.
£35.
Yeah.
What have you lost, Gary, in pounds? How much you? Give us
£14 is 1 stone.
£77.
£14 is 1 stone, right?
Correct.
I lost £60 once I made the conversion. I was like,
I know a lot of punters that have lost about £60 on Dom's tips this morning.
My dad also lost a stone, but it only weighed about 200 grams.
Did he? Kidney stone.
This has been a shocker.
24
Right, let's get into the best bets for the weekend. Let's round off and see what's going on. This is what I think. I've gone for the Bulls to beat the spread of plus 11.5. I think that's a gift. Manchester United to beat Southampton. Chelsea to beat Stoke. Derby to beat Birmingham. Birmingham don't have a manager.
That's the other one, yeah.
Yes, and then Wolves to beat Barnsley.
Yeah.
A little bit sketchy with that Wolves game, to be honest.
They're going well then.
I think the wheels are going to come off sooner rather than later. Gary, what have you done?
I went Arsenal, City and Everton. I know Terry said about Everton, but I think 15 to 10 that treble. You won't have too much of a sweat come Monday night. And then a little bit more speculative, but draw double. I think Swansea and Watford could finish 0-0. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle also finished 0-0, to be honest with you.
Right.
There won't be a lot separating any of those teams.
Yep.
Let's get into Liam. Liam does things from left field. So,
Casey, and I base it on what we discussed earlier, his fantastic scoring record there.
Well.
Team Europe to go on and actually beat Team World.
Yeah, that was good yesterday afternoon. I watched a little bit of that.
Wait, what is it? Is it
a little bit nostalgic. It's very well put together, you have to say.
See the two captains, eh?
Yeah.
McEnroe and Borg.
Just released a film as well.
And as far as the foot is concerned, Everton to come good. Bournemouth is rubbish. So Everton to come.
These 2 goals against Palace.
Yeah, it should be actually be 3.
It should be, yeah.
It doesn't matter, be safe. Oh, look at you, Cherry.
Here we go.
They are, matey.
What are they? Read through them.
They used to beat Ipswich, Tottenham to beat West Ham, Everton to beat Bournemouth, Chelsea to beat Stoke, and Burnley to beat Huddersfield.
The fact that you're in
You've
your
got to
80s.
come out and
16-1 minimum.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
16-1.
At least.
And it's all to come with an exclamation mark. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rod.
Yeah. Oh, look, well done. Look, I tell you what, for somebody who got all week to come up with something, that is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. People still say that because, geez.
I'll find them next week when they arrive.
3-1.
Is that how you spell his?
That's not, yeah, it's not pronounced G's, that's for sure. Anyway, maybe the BG.
Look at that, pathetic.
There we are.
All week he sits in the office and that's what he comes up with. That's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life. And he's got the cheek to have a go at us.
Well,
You.
well, it wasn't at
Go and
us.
get another
it was
pair
at
of
you.
shoes.
It was at you, not us.
You. Pathetic, that is.
Are we done?
Horrendous. It's like you when you took me down that bloody river. Horrendous.
The Yarra River. Yeah.
The Yarra River.
Yeah, there we are. All right.
Where's that?
Melbourne.
Melbourne, matey. Don't you
Didn't have a
know?
clue. You didn't have a clue. You were going to say
The flies like that.
All right, we're done. Liam, thanks very much for stopping by. What are you doing? Are you playing cricket this weekend?
I'm off to Durban. Sharks, Bulls.
Fly safe. Gary, where are you off to?
Going back to Cape Town later.
Are you living there permanently?
Well, first you got don't forget breakfast with Rhino.
Then
Yeah,
pick up my
breakfast.
sister on the way, please. Take her to the airport, save me the petrol.
Going back, eh?
Yeah.
Now she's going to
France?
Thank goodness she's been here
Oh, no,
for
3 weeks?
No, been a week and a half. Now she's off to Cape Town to see some friends. So hopefully she's not watching. But anyway, hope she enjoys it down there.
Okay. What are you not going anywhere?
No, off
No
to
bush?
the shops,
No
shopping.
bush?
No bush next week. The best trip
thought
ever.
you'd go this week.
No, next weekend. The best trip of all time.
Terry?
What, me?
Where are you going?
Golf's been cancelled, so I've got to watch the football.
Lucky you. All right, we are here. Understarters Orders is up next. We'll be back again next week at
Watch your
7
teeth.
o'clock. And thanks very much for watching the World Sports Betting Saturday show.